Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone in between. Welcome to our second episode of the new You Talkshow. That's right, my name is Frederick, and joining me are subconscious and breakthrough coach Mandd Fernando and lifestyle and fashion coach Nick Issa. Welcome, gentlemen. Gentlemen, have you ever, had clients or people, coming to you and telling you about how tough it is to change, especially to change their behaviors, their personalities, or even habits that could be detrimental to their well-being and self-development? So tonight's topic is precisely what we're focusing on, which is the very popularly used excuse of, I cannot change. This is who I am. So gentlemen, what do you think about this statement? Do you agree? Take it from there.
Okay, Nick, you want to?
Are you so quiet?
Okay, I think we'll start first. All right. So I think
Yes.
some changes is possible to be done. I do believe there's a fine line between to agree or not to agree. Depends on each individuals. However, because I believe that something that you yourself can control, you yourself that cannot control. Okay, so I think this is how you look at this, whether you can control or not. Because when you think that if you change it, is it for someone, or is it because of other people talk about you and say something about you that you want to change? Or do you think that your peer is giving you pressure? Yeah. So something's around you making pressure. And I think it's more that expectation that you want others to think about you. Yeah. And that is something that believe that you cannot control. Okay. And also the past. Okay. So what I can believe that what I can control, if you want to make a change, what I does my reactions have impact on others, basically? And then maybe you must also think that what boundary do I set with others so that people think perceive me as a different way, a better way, and to accept who I am. And also that maybe and how I can take care of myself. So there's something that I can control to make sure that I do it for myself. Yeah, and not for other people. Yeah, so I think that's why it's a fine line between to say yes or to say no. How about Mandd? How about you?
Yes, what do you think?
Okay, I think this part is, I am a victim myself. I mean, I believe no one is born with wisdom as per se. But if you realize that we always come on and say, you cannot say that to me. I don't like how you say. But when people say things to us, we will say, I'm so sorry, this is me. This is who I am. I cannot change. That's why I feel that the topic is for me, the change part. Of course, I totally agree with Nick in the sense that we're not supposed to change who we are for the benefit of others if it's actually harmful for us. But there's a lot of time that actually we cannot change as excuses. I cannot wake up early. It's because this is who I am. I'm a night owl, I'm like this and that. But the thing is it true that we can't change? Because in the part that even in my practice, I have done a request from few clients. So it's not only one client, few clients, and say that, can you help me to wake up 7 a.m.? I usually wake up at 9 plus. I can't wake up early. And if I've been proven that our body clock can even change. So I feel that if you realize that if you Google down about biology, about how our body is, 90 to 100% of our body cell is already changed within like 6 months. So like it or not, we always change. So there's no reason of us saying that we can't change our behavior. We can't change our pattern. But it's rather or not, will I be benefited if I change to this direction? So that's for my view.
It's great. So from hearing from the both of your perspective, it seems that for change to happen, it has to be choice-based and it has to be beneficial to others and self.
I believe that it's more benefit for us first, then we think about others.
And then the others.
Yes.
I think to me it's very simple. Is that when you change, right? You want to change for the better of yourself, just do it. And if you don't choose to change, then nobody else can stop you. Yeah, it's just as simple as that. But when it comes to a point where your habits determine the outcome which is not very, very positive, or it causes a lot of detriment to your lifestyle, your well-being, then perhaps this is like a wake-up call that you have to change. But of course, not every one of us are aware of that. It's like we're not aware that there is a need to change. And oftentimes I feel that we need crisis to happen for us to change. And this crisis happens in our life that cause us a lot of trauma, or cause us a lot of heartbreaks, or even headaches, for us to, push ourselves and motivate ourselves to change. And so I tend to adopt the kind of philosophy that we love pain a lot. It's like pain and pleasure comes together. Nothing BDSM about that, but really we're so masochistic. We love pain so much. We get motivated by pain a lot. It's like in marketing, it's all about your pain points. We're selling your pain points. You love that because you feel that kind of relates to you, that resonates with you a lot. And when you sell people their pain points, and when you touch their pain points, it's always the core that triggers them. So I feel that in order for us to make the change, that decision to change has to come from the crisis that inflicts that pain in order to trigger that thing to happen. And most of the time, like not for myself, I feel personally that a lot of times in my life when I change, the moment when I change and I decide to change, that's when I decided, okay, I'm done with this crisis. I'm done with whatever that I'm suffering. Let's just do this. Let's just do that. Something like that. It's like that. I mean, am I being too pessimistic?
I mean, like what you say, like everybody will have the wall, so-called like we are already against the wall. But the part that I think we also need to bring up to people is, okay, of course, there are certain things that we cannot change. For example, if I am handicapped, and because of my handicap, I suddenly wanted to run.
Yeah.
It's a little bit harder for me to achieve that. But if let's say it's on the side of behavior, mindset, or habits, or maybe like doing things that we're not normally able to do, it's the one that I feel that we should push back and say that, yes, I know I can change. It might not be simple. It might not be easy, but there's a things that we always can do to change, rather than we say we are stuck at this level and we cannot change. Yeah.
That's very true. In fact, there is no excuse. In fact, if you are talking about change, right? If there's this interesting thing that I did a search today, over the internet, and I asked myself, is there anything that we cannot change? Right? Can we change? We can't change our parents for sure, but we can change anybody, but not our parents. But of course, that is external. Talking about internal. So is there anything that we cannot change? So I thought of this thing called DNA. Can we change our DNA? The thing is, DNA belongs to genome, right? The good news is that when I did a search, I realized that you can alter DNA. And through through certain activities that you put yourself through, your genome can be altered. It seems that way. That's what Google said. I'm not sure whether it's true or not. but I think that came into a realization that in all things you are susceptible to change, and it's a constant in life. And therefore, if it's a need, and if it's something that is required of you, then the rest of it is based on your decision already. What do you think about that, Nick? Because I'm sure you want to share about something.
About what? Sorry.
I just put you on the spot. Okay. All right. Yeah. Is there anything I can share, Nick? Like any?
Okay. For me, right, I mentioned about the control. It's more okay about changes, right?
Yeah.
When you make a change, is it because of you talk to yourself, oh, I want to make a change, or someone else talk to you that you must change? So is it because you've been asked to change, or you yourself talking to yourself that I want to change, or I can't change? I think it's mental of how to say your own instinct, whether is it good for yourself or whether is it not good for yourself. And to listen to people oh, you need to change. Or is it good? Will it do better for yourself? Or do you want to follow blindly, whatever, maybe like peer pressure, example. So the youngsters will just say, oh, I should do this, is very trendy. Oh, okay. Do you feel that people always changes because they follow the trend? Or do you feel that people change because of something happened, like Frederick mentioned to you just now, something happened to you, or like months, but there's a war, okay? So basically, that these will cause the effect of change. But I feel that it is quite subjective for each person to make the changes, unless you yourself want. Yeah. For the change, right? I feel that you must answer this question. People ask you to change, or you want to change yourself. Okay, and I feel that everybody changes, or maybe I'll just say, how about, can I ask this question to the two guys over here? You all changes, or do you have a behavior changes as well?
Behavior change? What do you mean? Do I change behaviorally or what?
Yes. Or maybe like example, in the past you like to do nightlife or something like that. And then now you just change, basically, oh, no more drinking for me, or those kind of things. So is it because of the trend, or is it because of life? Because let's say when you are certain ages, then I think it should die down. I should just follow my I'll say, I'm not fit enough, basically. So basically.
Man, do you have anything to add on that?
Oh, for me, I do realize that as well. And this is the part that's why for me, it's also because of maybe what I do. I mean, the subconscious coach area, that, of course, every time when client come to me and say, I wanted to change, that's the first thing that I ask, why you want to change? To find the purpose of the changes itself before even changing. Because the thing is, like, everybody know, if I use subconscious coaching, I can stop people from smoking. But whether it's really the person wanted to stop smoking. And like me, myself, I do change a lot because I eat my own medicine. I try it on my own self. So it's like, last time I tried a lot of things when people say high performance, the high performance behavior, how to change and stuff, that I follow that to try. I set up my goal every single day. I want to reach 100 time push up. I totally failed. And in the end, when I use a subconscious coaching wise on myself, up to today, every single day, I will do at least 120, 160 without me thinking that I'm doing it. So I even stopped. I did drink alcohol before, but when I come to this subconscious coaching side, for certain reason, I decided I will need to stop. So I totally never even once yearned to like, oh, I want to taste back how whiskey tastes like, how sake tastes like. It's out of my mind. So that's the part that I believe that when we decided, and it's for us, it's very possible for us to change.
Yeah, that's really interesting, because what you highlighted is that, man, it's not that you cannot change, it's whether how great your willpower it is to change and how much you want the change to happen.
But I a bit disagree on the willpower.
The willpower part, it's really subjective, like, really.
Yeah, because the thing is, if you realize that if we change on the surface level, why I say that there are certain way that, although you say it's a high performance way of changing, the habit changing, the 30 days habit changing and stuff. But if you realize when you do that, for example, if I binge eating, then I suddenly eat the things that I'm not supposed to eat. It's not because I don't have willpower, because willpower is like a battery.
Right.
You will use it up when you are stressed. That's why 100% of everybody that do diet, they will cheat or they will eat something that they're not supposed to eat when the day is the most stressful. Yeah. So if you are relying on willpower itself, congratulations, your life will be a lot harder.
Yeah, I don't have willpower at all.
Yeah, because every one of us have a limited set of willpower, and it will be depleted like it or not.
That's true. I absolutely agree with you completely. Because the part when you talk about snacking, yeah, I'm guilty of that.
When you're young, it's okay, but when you're getting more mature, I don't think so.
From what I understand, it all builds up, right? It all accumulates, right? So from young, if you start to build up all this kind of junk, you're gonna get junk, right? More junk at the end. Yeah. Yeah. Great point there, man. It's about this what do you call when you're talking about that spark to change. For myself, in my practice, is that usually when clients come to me, right, they already know that something needs to be done, right? Because they know something's wrong with their life. So when people see astrologers, they'll be like down in the pits, or either they are looking for meaning, they're looking for purpose. They know themselves that they are losing it, or they probably think that something is missing in their life and they want to find out what's missing in their life. And sometimes they realize that they're in a crisis. Like for me, I realized that I was in a crisis once, and I put myself out of the crisis, and that's where I decided to kind of like make a change and make a shift. That whole seismic shift in the transformation, right, only started when the decision has been made due to a particular reason. So there must always be this reason. I mean, from my perspective, because that's how my life is like. So I'm pretty stubborn person, actually. Think of it. So if you're talking about astrology perspective, right, there is a way on how you identify someone who is passionately stubborn. Interested to know how I do it?
Yeah. Is there anyone from the Facebook site that maybe like ask question or something?
Yeah, Isa, Nick,
Okay, let me just look to the Facebook. Yes.
I'm
So
trying to
far,
feel free to ask question because
yeah, feel free to ask question.
yeah, feel free to ask this question because I'm going to start on the astrology part. I'm going to share about how I determine who is stubborn or passionately stubborn when it comes to astrology and looking at your birth chart itself. So I believe that it's very, very popular saying that a lot of people think that Taurus are, are people who are generally stubborn, which is quite true because Taurus, they tend to be fixated. It's a fixed sign and it's represented by the bull, the bull. So it is known to be resistant to change. One of the more resistance to change, one of the more stubborn signs that is resistant to change. And it carries kind of like qualities that veer into stubbornness under duress, when under stress, when they feel insecure or threatened. So these are the types of people, Tauruses, basically. If your sun is in Taurus, then you generally carry that stubbornness streak. But it doesn't always apply to everybody. We look at the birth chart. We don't just look at the star sign itself. So Taurus is one of the signs that we look at. If you are stubborn, yes. So if you're Taurus, all right, no offense, but if you're Taurus, just take note that you do have some fixation on certain qualities in your life. Like Taurus is very interesting, because Tauruses, right, when they like a certain types of food, right, like comfort food, for example, if they love fries or cheese fries, they will go for cheese fries every time they go to buy snacks. So they will stick to a particular preference. And not just about food, it's about preference of certain way of doing things. So if they like the food to be cooked this way, or they like certain way that you iron the clothes, right? So in a certain pattern, in a certain way, they like it in a certain fashion, they will stick to that. And if you change that, they are going to be pissed. This is the qualities of what Tauruses are. All right. So like it or not, I think if you have a Taurus in you, everyone has a Taurus in us. It's a matter of how much Taurus that we have in us on our birth chart that determines the stubbornness streak that we carry. And of course, if you are quite heavy on the fixed sign, right? For example, fixed sign are like Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, and Aquarius. These people tend to be a bit stubborn, man. I mean, the stubbornness level tend to be more than the rest of the signs. Yeah. So are you any one of these signs, gentlemen? I mean, sun sign only. Sun sign only.
No, not yet.
No, not yet. Great. Man, what about you?
I don't think so.
Oh, wow. Okay. Me too. Yeah. But I do have a Scorpio rising. So Scorpio can be a little bit more fixated in certain things. So yeah. So if you have a fixed sign rising, you do have a particular inkling to stubbornness. And also we look at other aspects of the birth charts, such as where your Pluto placement is, because Pluto is very powerful. It's transformational, but it can also be very dangerous. All right. In a sense that Pluto creates a lot of extremities. And not just that, if you have a Mars-Saturn conjunction, for example, this is one of the aspects that we look at. If you have that on your birth chart, you tend to have a lot of drive, a lot of ambition, and you tend to want to stick to that fashion or that approach to your career, to your ambition, to whatever that you want to pursue in life. And that makes you quite obstinate. And I think it's rather a good thing. Not exactly 100% a bad thing or a negative thing, but it's good to have a balance of the trait of being stubborn for the right things, or being stubborn in a way that benefits you and other people as well. So I guess these are the main examples of how I look at stubbornness of a person through the birth chart. And I would think that stubbornness is a potential strength, not really a weakness. But of course, we all need to change. We all need to change for the better. We need to work on ourselves. This is always what I advise clients who come to me, because you don't just expect to know your birth chart. You're expected to change and evolve into someone better than yourself. So this is my personal philosophy as an astrologer. Yeah.
Well, for me, my clients are mostly look up for me because they want to change themselves. Maybe it's time for them to settle down. Okay. They need to find partners. And also mostly it's because of for the health reason, as well as also for the motivational level. Just to get maybe get self more lucky and understanding themselves. Because I'm not only just doing on the outside, I covers inside on the inner strength of them as well. However, I do not go to emotion. I don't cover emotion. I think mine will cover emotion. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think me and Nick actually we also like do actually help someone from the inside. But of course, on my side, I really go deep into the subconscious area, because like there's always a way for us to help a person to change. It's just that it's also because of my belief, as I share in the first episode that we have. Every one of us is very simple. We sitting down here, no matter how, we are the product of our past. So if we can change the past and I can help you to release the baggage of the past, you will actually gain the benefit of the change without me telling you what to do. And I've proven that over and over again. Because in my session, I will not tell you that, okay, Nick, Frederick, you need to do A, B, C, D, E, F, G. You will never hear that from me. But at the same time, that you will realize that your body tend to go to the direction that is suitable for you. So in the sense, like, for example, salesperson that have every time they do the same thing over and over again, and they always fail the same way over and over again. But after the session itself, they realize there's certain things they need to take or they need to let go. So it's more towards me helping you to listen to yourself, comparing to you listen to me because I'm the advisor. So there's the different way of my approach.
Yeah, the subconscious approach.
Correct.
And yeah, it's like you're helping a person by digging up all the uncleanness, or rather the unaware from the subconscious, from a place where they're not even aware of it. Whereas for myself, I will help them to understand, like to consciously see what's going on with their life, and to consciously understand that there is this future that they potentially can meet, and whether they are willing to work towards that future. Because when I do forecasting, I let them know about the potential future that can happen in their lives, and therefore we will also need your help to dig deep. And to dig deep, that will be a great way to work with them towards the future, now and the future, by understanding the past. And Nick will come in with something.
I'll come in with something. Anyway, there's no question asked at the moment in time still on the Facebook. Right.
Right.
Please drop some question if you have the time. Then we will like to answer, all your questions. Oh, like I share with you guys on the Facebook, right? The changes is there is I'll just say that again. Or where is it? Sorry, just a moment. Yeah. That's it. Anybody got a question? Please drop us some question. Well,
there are two comments. Let me take
but there isn't
some
any.
question. Anyway, just want to shout out to I've got a feedback here. Anyway, just want to shout out to oops, my bad. I think when I want to do a referral, or rather a reference to the live feed, I get to hear myself. This is not gonna happen. All right. Because when I load this Facebook, what happened is I hear every time when I refresh, this volume will always turn on by itself automatically, which is like crazy load of trouble all the time. not sure how to do about it. I'm not sure what to do about it, but yeah, because I would like to give them a shout out later on. I think if I remember, it was Josephine and Julia who came to support. Thank you so much for your support, and please do drop your comments if or even if you have questions, guys. Just feel free to ask while we're still live. But yeah, you can ask after the live. But you can always.
I've got one question on myself.
Yeah.
Do you think that these changes that we all have in our life, is it through time? It's
Time.
Yes. It's just like, for example, you can go back time, right? You cannot. With time really over. So no matter what changes, right, you can start where you are and then make the changes. And that means you can just make your ending based on the changes made. Meaning that the change the beginning, but you can start where you are and change the ending.
Start where I am, change the ending.
Yeah. But you can't go back in time.
I can't go back in time.
Yeah.
Just start the present and change the ending. What do you mean change the ending? I can change the present in order to get the outcome that I want.
Yes.
But I cannot change the outcome that I want with the present remaining the same. I don't get the logic.
Okay. If you make some changes, right, do you expect the change to be made, or do you expect the change to happen?
Isn't it both of them actually the same?
But it's two different.
Okay, I think for me, maybe I share on like this is how I help someone. Yes, I physically cannot go back to my past. Am I right? I mean, I cannot bring my body back to the past. But we forget one special stuff, which is the subconscious stuff. This is why people say inner child healing or some other healing is because of we backtrack to the past subconsciously and we clear up the past to bring it forward. So yes, we cannot physically be there. This is what hypnotherapy they always say, regression, child, informed child and stuff, because we forget that we are not just conscious and we are not just our physical body. There are changes that can happen. I have helped people with trauma or certain area of related to trauma, but by bringing them to the past. And surprisingly, it's like taking me around 15-20 minutes. And can it be done that fast? Physically or consciously, we might not be able to. But subconsciously is where the possibility is there. So yes, I agree. Physically, I cannot go back to the past, but subconsciously, I can help you to clear up from the past. Yeah, so that's where I believe what you say is true, that we are starting from now towards the future, because we cannot physically move back to the past. We can help. Like for my side, I help people to go to the future that they want by releasing their past. Because for me, my belief is the future is infinite possibility.
Yeah, we can predict our future, basically.
Absolutely.
Except I got.
Yeah. Well, absolutely agree with Mandd here. Yeah. I mean, I can't physically go back to the past, but I can just look at the birth chart and tell you what your past is like. I can tell you your present is like, what your future may be like. But I cannot tell you 100% what your future is going to be like unless you do something with the present. Yeah, because people mistaken astrologers as fortune tellers, which is not the case. In fact, all of us are not fortune tellers. We cannot predict the future. Even for scientists, no matter how well they predict in their own scientific method, they always give a 5% chance of error. And that's why I feel that as astrologers, we are also scientific in a way that we give certain percentage. Like for me, I give 10% of error in my own readings. So it's the case. Yeah. So yeah, that's the thing. We're all humans. We can't predict the future. Only the potential future.
Okay, so there's all that. So far, there's no questions still. So is that all? Anyone guys want to chat anymore?
I think we can wrap it up for me, myself, that I always believe that sometimes it's hard to change. The changing that I feel that it's not like we adapting from whatever coming to us, but it's like we ourselves sometimes put a trap to ourselves saying that I cannot change. This is my label. I am an introvert. Then this is the label that I always carry, which I which I believe that we always be able to change for a certain extent, and there is always be a way, except for the impossible, like biological changes, as in I want my eyes to be always be blue, and I'm not having a blue eyes kind of thing. There is a test on hypnosis that change eye colors, but it's only a split second.
Wow.
But the part of it that this is genetic expression. It's not changing your DNA, but it's DNA expression. But the thing is that if that is possible, almost everything that we thought that is impossible to change might be possible.
I just use blue contact lens. Yeah, I just change blue then brown. I put brown, green, blue.
If I were to make to understand about the change, right? It's all about effort. I think it's about efforts. And it's true that some people say, "Oh, I cannot change. I don't need to follow people what they say. I don't need to really think." Actually, based on your judgment and effort, these two things. Other than that, I think there's nothing. Only yourself think about it. It's efforts and your judgment and your thinking. Yeah, you don't need to think about what people say about yourself, but you need to think for yourself. That's one thing. Yeah.
I think change and fear walks hand in hand. It's like partners. You know, sometimes when you want to change, you're afraid of change. It's like you're afraid of change because you do not know what lies at the end of that change and that transformation. Because some people are really afraid of success. Believe me, because the thing is that some people that I've seen, right, and they are really afraid of success. To us, some of us we love success, but to some, right, they are fearful of success because they do not know what they will become. They do not know what they will do, and they do not know what people would think of them, like once they're successful. Yeah. So this is like this happens, and even so, even if one is not afraid of success, I still feel that change and fear are both quite. They're like partners. They're like couple, and sometimes when we want to change, we hold ourselves back. And the reason why we hold ourselves back is also because of the fear, a fear of like carrying on with the change process, because change is not like overnight kind of thing. It's always a process, and to go through that process, right? Sometimes when fear kicks in, like a thorn in the flesh, right? It can create obstacles that would take us to the destination we want to go. So I still feel that, if you want to change, yes, you make the decision to change. By the end of the day, you get scared. Yeah, you get scared of change. Yeah.
Yes, I am.
What? Yeah, you need pain to push you through. That's the masochistic part of it. Whip yourself. Whip out the idea. Whip yourself. Yeah, so that's like, hey, speaking of that, I'm in black today. Okay. Jokes aside, right? So, yeah, so fear and change, they're like couple. So, yeah, and that's my thought about change. No matter how much we want, no matter how hungry we are to make the transformation, sometimes fear really, makes us hesitate, make us, step back and really think until we are paralyzed. And I am also guilty of that sometimes. Not sure about you guys, but yeah, and that's something that all of us should reflect on, I feel.
Yeah, I think that is the part that actually I wanted to start to share with people, that we should change before we need to change.
Yes.
So the part that people always forget, that, like what you say, is the fear, and fear is because of a lot of people don't know things can happen. But will you want to be ready to change? Right. Like do different things whenever you need to, or you want to stuck at that particular pain, then you change. There's a choice of eat because you wanted to eat, and eat because of you're too hungry and you must eat. So that is what I feel about changes. That's why for me, myself, I always do change myself every single day to find out what I need to change before someone come to me and say, "Hey man, you need to change."
So you do self-pledging.
I mean, in a sense, like this is also what I always help my client with. I'll always give them a set of tools for them to do subconscious changing by themselves, and to the extent that there are certain things that actually we don't need the guidance for us to change ourselves. So after I could do a clearing about all of the fear, like what you say, all of the learned fear and stuff, in the end of the session, after the few session, is where I'll encourage them to have a tools specifically for themselves to have the subconscious changing, because they always need to change. Yeah.
Okay, so I think there's no question asked.
Great. It's okay. Let our audience ponder. Let them think. Let them take this night to really think. It's Friday night. So yeah, and it's great that we have this talk. Really enjoy it. Amazing. And yeah, so we have come to the end of the show, and I think this is a good topic. And I'm glad to wrap this up right here, right now. And the next time that we're going to gather here is going to be next Friday, same time at 9 p.m. So next Friday, there's going to be another topic and a new topic that we're going to talk about. Should we review them here?
No.
So tempting to review them. But anyway, we will surprise you with topics every now and then. Okay, so the next one will be quite dear to us. And the next topic is going to be very, very applicable to all, in fact. All right, so we'll close for the night. Thank you for coming on live and sharing this space with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Have a good evening.